President Srinivasan. Here. Vice President Tippelman.
Here.
Treasurer Nabar.
Here.
Parliamentary Seeley.
Here.
Senator Balaji.
Here.
Senator Bell.
Here.
Senator Cantu.
Here.
Senator Castellanos.
Here.
Senator Catherwood.
Here.
Senator Copeland.
Here.
Senator Dyson.
Here.
Senator Grimm. Senator Hart.
Here.
Senator Hicken.
Here.
Senator Jacobs.
Here.
Senator Hood.
Here.
Senator Jawad.
Here.
Senator Jobe. Senator Johnson.
Here.
Senator McDaniel. Senator McLeod.
Here.
Senator Mohammed.
Here.
Senator Morris. Here. Senator Morrison. Senator Muniz. Senator Nafredi.
Here.
Senator Nagarajan. Senator Novak. Senator Parrish.
Here.
Senator Rogers.
Here.
Senator Ross. Senator Severin.
Here.
Senator Shaka.
Here.
Senator Strothide. Senator Sweetland.
Here.
Senator Thomas.
Okay, all in favor of approving April 6 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, April 6 minutes have been approved. Do you have anyone here for open forum? Okay. For speakers Hogan, we do have Hogan discussing about the grandparent fund.
All right, somebody come up there. Hi guys, my name is Hogan. For those of you who don't know me, I am part of the committee for Tyler Dance Marathon, and every year our goal is to raise over $10,000 for Children's Miracle Network, who partners with Trinity Mother Francis. So 100% of the funds that we raise go to the local hospital here in Tyler. And we're having our big celebration of the year-long efforts this Saturday at the HBC. And we would love to partner with you guys and have you guys sponsor our event, because it costs a lot of money to rent the HBC, $500. And with you guys, we're hoping that we could bring that cost down and more of that money could go toward our fundraising. So also a way that that could benefit you guys is it's a great way to get your name out there. And at the event, if you guys raise more than $100, which with all of you combined, it wouldn't be too hard to do. SAE raised $600 in a week. So it's just a matter of sending some emails out and just getting some people registered. And you guys can do a check presentation at our event, and we'd love to bring you guys up to do one and have some of you up there take a picture. And it's just a great thing that you guys can be a part of. So we have this every year at the HBC, and we'd love for it to keep growing and for all student organizations to be involved. So we'd love to have you guys support this Saturday and in future years. So thank you.
Anybody have any questions? Okay. Next we have JP, sorry, it's not on the agenda, but we have JP talk about soup count.
Hey everyone, you said my name is JP. I am a student worker here at UT Tyler. I've spoken to you before about orientation. In case y'all weren't here, I work at orientation here at UT Tyler in the Student Life Leadership Office for the Department of Youth, Student, and Family Programs. And I'm here to talk to you guys about the opportunity to be a part of the staff for our first ever school camp here at UT Tyler. Has anyone here ever heard of Line Camp at Baylor, Fish Camp at A&M, Freshman Camp, so on and so forth? Obviously, if you've been a freshman here, you know that you didn't get to do or have that sort of experience that they do, learning about the traditions of their university, sort of getting acclimated to, what kind of people they're going to school with, and, getting to know, or will get to know in the next 4 years, that they're going to spend here at Tyler. Our department is working for a good long 2 years to get the ball rolling and get this extended orientation program started. And like I've said, this year is the first year that we're doing it. We have an orientation staff of about 25 to 28 that will be helping facilitate the camp itself. But to sort of put it in perspective of the help we'll need, we need the, say, 25, 28 orientation leaders to facilitate a group of 100, maybe 120 students that come to orientation, just one of the sessions over the summer. If half of the students that are freshmen come to the camp, let's say 500, 600 kids, 28, 25 on our staff doesn't really get any credit, even if we had the help of the people in our office. So I'm reaching out to y'all and other organizations, athletics, anywhere where we can sort of get our hands into students that are part of extracurriculars that have a sort of understanding and have like a passion or whatever have you developed for something else here that they've developed here in Tyler. This is a way to sort of not only help that transition that students have between high school and college, which is like I've mentioned, like can be like painfully awful if you don't get to meet the right people or if you don't meet anyone in the first place. So this is sort of an opportunity for you to help them out, and as well as yourself. I know that a lot of things at bigger universities, a lot of traditions and everything are sort of lost here in Tyler. Like we don't have things like that, like like a Yale or whatever at A&M, or we don't do like ring domes, we don't do so on and so forth, big traditions that they have at other schools. But although you guys may not be a part of those traditions, we can start those things, and we can help build the university from the ground up. That's the sort of vision that I've always had since I've been working for orientation, to sort of leave behind something better for the school and for the students that come here, in a way to like give back for the education that I'm receiving, as well as eating a lot of free food, meeting a lot of great people, getting a lot of free shirts and gear and so on and so forth that I do. So the camp is the week before school starts. It's in my opinion pretty easy to sort of plan. Right now it's the week before it starts. If you live on campus, I believe that we are even working out a way that you can move your stuff in and then be here for the camp itself is August 21st through the 25th. But the Friday before will be like the training day where we get everyone that's on staff sort of acclimated and letting them know what's going on, so that we're not just winging it when the camp comes about. But yeah, it's like I said, free sort of UT Tyler gear, free food, and then the hours that you spend working school camp throughout the week, we have cleared with Chase Ragland, the man who's in charge of like service leadership in our office, that they will count as volunteer hours or service hours if you need organizations, if you want to put them on your resume, so on and so forth. So again, it's a real great opportunity for a lot of different reasons. I think you should consider joining our staff. There's a lot of really great people already on it. We'd love to get to know y'all, so on and so forth. The link is to like register or apply, whatever have you. It's like a really simple Qualtrics thing to fill out. Is on our Facebook page and all of our like social medias. Facebook page is the UT Tyler New Student and Family Programs. UT Tyler NPO is our Twitter name. If you have any questions or anything like that, you can get my information from pretty much anyone on board. But yeah, thank you all for y'all's time, and I hope you all consider joining our staff.
Thank you. All right, hey guys, this is our second to last meeting, and we have actually been quorum out of 3 weeks, which is exciting. Please, let's keep this up. We have one more meeting next week, so please come. As you can see, we do have a lot to cover on the agenda. I'm sure we probably will have a lot next week as well. So definitely be here. I want to thank everyone who came to Midnight Breakfast on Tuesday. It was pretty successful. We didn't have as many students participating in Midnight Breakfast, but this was my 6th Midnight Breakfast. I don't think I've ever seen students have this much fun as they did this time. So thank you for everyone who participated, who volunteered, to stay till the very end. Another thing, normally a lot of senators leave halfway through, but we had about 10 to 12 senators stay the entire time and help out. So thank you, super successful. Another thing, Dr. Patterson emailed me about another committee that they are forming. It's an instructional support fee committee. I don't know what this has to really tie in with, maybe for SI or for TAs. I don't know what the committee's fully kind of encompasses, but I do need 2 people to sign up for this committee. They're only going to meet once a semester. It shouldn't be too long. So I'm going to have this passed around. I only need 2 senators. You guys could please sign up. That would make Dr. Patterson very happy. Other than that, that's all I have. We do have low range tonight from 10 to 12 p.m. I'm sorry, 10 to 12 a.m. So as you can see, we asked you guys to dress up, just casually because we are going to go straight from here to help out with CAD. They do need all the help they can get. We are sponsoring this event because we're volunteering. So please don't just leave afterwards. As tempting as that may be, please stay. But yeah, that's all I have. You guys did a fantastic job this semester, so let's keep it up for one more meeting, and then we have a banquet next Friday, I believe, at 11:30. Oh, time's not here, but yeah, 11:30 a.m. at the ballroom. But that's all I have. Any questions for me? Yes.
Is the clearage mandatory because Sean and I have a fundraiser at Varsity Directors?
It is mandatory.
Setup is mandatory.
Yeah, setup's mandatory.
So y'all don't have to stay until midnight, but this just help us with the setup.
Because our organization's really full, so we really need to stay.
What time shows?
Starts from 6 to midnight.
Okay. Yeah. If y'all guys don't mind, like as soon as meeting's over, we'll head over there, do a little setup. Y'all guys are good to go. Y'all head over there to Varsity.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, Vice President Templeman.
All right, guys. Just hitting on it again. Thanks for everybody who helped out a lot at Midnight Breakfast. That went really, really well. For banquet did have to get changed. Was going to be that Thursday that's on the agenda. However, that was going to cost like an extra $200 in setup charges because of AHI's policy. So I moved it to Friday in the ballroom at 11:30. Most of y'all responded to that Google poll, and I just went with the one that had the most people available. The setup, just explained that. And then that's really all for events for the rest of the year. So that's pretty much done with as far as my little section there. That's all I have.
Any questions for Vice President Templeman? Secretary Martin?
I'll repeat what they said. Thanks for coming to Midnight Breakfast. I really do appreciate everyone who stayed the whole time. Also, thank you to my committee for all your work, for advertising and everything. I can't take all the credit at all. Like, they did a majority of that, so I do really appreciate my committee. Anyone who didn't get a Midnight Breakfast t-shirt, just email me. We'll figure it out. But we did have enough for everyone to get one. So email me so you make sure you can get one. They're all in our office. But yeah, that's all I have.
Okay, any questions for Secretary Martin? Secretary Moore?
I've been working on getting the receipts from this past semester finalized before my term is up, and then I believe the future EB board will be notified of who won by tomorrow morning, and so I'll go ahead and we'll start training for the treasurer for the next year. Other than that, I just wanted to thank you guys who worked your tables. That was a lot of help for me, and I think we did pretty well with their turnout. Josh, do you know how many votes we got in the end?
Yes, I do. I'm actually looking up for that.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, any questions for Treasurer Moore?
362, which is about average for an election here in Utah.
Any questions for Treasurer Moore? Parliamentarian Seeley?
Hey guys, I'm really glad the elections were successful. Thank you to everyone who helped and everyone who voted and everyone who ran. And good luck to all of you, and hope you get a phone call tomorrow. I know on your agenda it says the bylaws are under old business, but we will not be discussing or voting on bylaws today because there's a rule where anything that we approve has to go to the student body to be voted on, and since elections have already ended, that's not possible. And we're going to apologize to my committee for all the work y'all put in, and I'm sorry to have wasted your time not being able to vote on things and get that done. But hopefully we can save those edits and get ready for the next rules committee.
Any questions for Parliamentarian Seeley? All right. Student Voice Reports graduate class.
All right, so last month, Graduate Student Association had their first event. Wasn't able to go, but it looked like it was a lot of fun. Other than that, they're doing conf exams.
Awesome. I know I attended the graduate the event, and it went really well. Patriot Village.
I contacted the residence coordinator, and she said that they're still continuing to improve the landscape and the roofs and the stairs and all that stuff. And like 2 weeks ago or something, a giant tree fell in the middle there, and I was really glad that they fixed it very quickly. And so they're doing good over there.
Any other comments with future vote? Eagles next.
So we've been trying to send out a survey to everyone at Eagles Landing, but the resident coordinator kind of let us, in a sense. She's been out of town, and then she just hasn't looked at it physically. So hopefully she'll send it out soon regarding the Wi-Fi and just getting kind of a gauge on that.
That's pretty cool. Josh?
Send it to Dr. Jenny Water, Director of Housing, and Rob Coffee, coordinator.
Well, I sent it to Allie, and then Allie was going to send it to Commission, but nothing's happened. So.
Do one email and then CC me.
Okay, gotcha.
And then follow up, we have College of Nursing.
Nothing really to follow up, but this is a side note. I've talked to some people, and people are thinking about wanting to see if they can get like a printer on the third floor in the library, even though I know there's third printer on the second floor, but like just going downstairs and like not leaving your stuff, you know, like security reasons. But so maybe next
You
semester.
guys want to do about that? Oh, I'm sorry, was this library?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Was that it? College of Pharmacy?
Everything's going good. Looking forward to the end of the semester.
Awesome. Glad to hear. And then you find. Okay.
Nothing really to report.
Okay. All right, career reports, we have student life.
Student life didn't have anything really new to report because we just basically focused on getting everything set up for midnight breakfast.
Communications committee?
I have to agree. We've been just working on advertisements and getting all the flyers up and everything, and so that's what we've been focusing on.
SGA?
We met on Monday and we had our, I guess, end of semester lunch or whatever. But I wanted to thank my committee for all the hard work they put in. You guys did a great job this semester. We did use up about like 99% of the SGAC funds we had allocated to us. So good job, and I enjoyed working with you guys.
Rules committee?
Nothing there in
Student affairs?
We did meet so that I could let my committee members enjoy crawfish. We had a successful semester and look forward to next semester.
President's Council did not meet this week. I do want to remind you guys that we do have our little event, I guess Patriot Takeover, or Patriots on Takeover, whatever our name classified it to be. But it is going to be next Wednesday from 11 to 2 p.m. in the Patriot Zone. It's going to be karaoke and games, right? Yeah. And then Sodexo is providing food. They've generously donated $2,000 worth of food for the event. So definitely come stop by. I know a lot of other events are also taking place around the same time, so definitely visit and see what's going on. Old business. Do you have any other old, or do we have any old business? Senator Rogers.
Motion to discuss interfaith women for up to 5 minutes.
Okay, all in favor of opening discussion over the interfaith room for 5 minutes, up to 5 minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those who oppose? Any abstentions? Okay, discussion is now open. Any discussion?
Sorry. Do you have any updates on what's going on with that?
No. I know I have been very busy trying to meet with our dean of students, right? Yeah, Ms. Oliver. But from the girl who did present, she has, I think, she's trying to meet with her, but I don't have any updates as of right now on what's going on with them. Senator.
So there's no projected location. Sorry, there's no projected location for this as of yet. So still in the early
It's
discussion.
still in early discussion. Early discussion. Senator.
Motion to close the discussion. of the interfaith.
Second. All in favor of closing discussion on the interfaith room, say aye.
Aye.
All those who oppose? Any abstentions? Okay, discussion is now closed. Any other old business? All right, new business. So I met with did my one-on-one with Dr. Tugel a few weeks ago, and I kind of discussed the outcome that the responses you guys are providing with the shuttle buses. It's kind of 50-50. Half of you guys wanted the shuttle buses, half of you guys didn't really feel need to have it. It was a waste of money. So Dr. Tugel gave a very cool approach to maybe how to fix the situation. He said that campus he's been on, they've had rental bikes. So how this would work is like on in Eagles Landing, there would be a set of bikes, and then there'd be a set of bikes in HBC, library, whatever it may be. And you'd use your card to swipe to get the bike. And so it would be there'd be charge on your card, but it'd be refunded back to you after you put the bike back to its original place. So you go from Eagles to library, put the bike up, and then kind of how the system would work. So I kind of wanted to gauge what your responses were about the rental bikes. He did want to hear about if you guys would use it. He doesn't have any statistics, nor do I have any statistics on how the bikes work. He has said that in his past university, they've been really, really successful. So I was wondering if maybe anyone wanted a motion to open up discussion.
Motion to open discussion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor of opening discussion on the rental bike, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. Discussion's now open. Send it up.
I think it's a great idea. That was actually one of the things that was brought up when I had a meeting with the dean. He thought it would be wonderful. He had similar experiences with other colleges that it was very successful, and students ended up really appreciating it. So I think it would be a great idea.
I think this is a great plan. I've seen and used this on 2 other campuses myself. When we traveled to Southwestern University for tennis, they have the rental bikes there, and we're really curious about them. So some of their players swipe their ID cards, and we rode the little bikes around, and it was really fun. But it was also neat because when you put, at least with their system, when you put the bike back and lock it back in, it's got sort of like a unique ID thing. So then it knew that they didn't have the bike anymore, that they had returned it to a bike rack. I think they're really cool. I would love to see something like that here because, not only there, but also I'm pretty sure it was at TLU or something like that. They also have a similar system, and they're really easy to use. And I feel like I saw tons of kids, or not kids, people, I guess, bring a bike, take a bike. It was constant movement on that end. So, and I think it's really good for people to get out and be active. It's not like we have a huge campus. If you had a bike, it'd take you 5 minutes to get across the whole place. But I've seen these and I've used them, and I think they're awesome.
All right.
How does the cost of that compare to the shuttles that we have now?
He has no idea. He said that if it's something the students really wanted, something they would use, then he would find a way to get the price. Vice President Shumpin?
I would assume that it's going to be a lot cheaper. Because correct me if I'm wrong, Josh, but didn't we didn't purchase the full shuttle. We pay a contract price for them each year.
Yes, I think that's what Dr. Fauci stated. Yes.
So in theory, we don't technically even own the shuttles that we have. So we're paying for them every year, same price, and it's constant use of electricity to charge all of them. So the bike system would probably, your most expensive cost would be whatever is the tracking materials, and then the bikes themselves. The only thing that would cost more at the end would be if somebody wrecks a bike. But that's just update, for bike repair, we already have those stations here. So I think it would be a lot cheaper than the shuttles, and people would probably be able to use it more effectively.
I do want to state that there's a huge liability issue with this as well, just to kind of put that out there. So I don't know how that's going to work either. I don't know if it's going to be covered around the university or individually, so that's something else to keep in mind. Senator Catherwood?
I know from living in Georgetown and Southwestern University, it's also a small campus, and I think that they had the same thing where they had golf carts and they switched to bikes, and I know that driving by, they're always in use. I never just kind of see them all there. There's normally at least one of them out at all times, so I think it's a good idea.
Senator Joel?
Just to throw this out there, I think the people who use the shuttle try to get away from physical activity. So putting them on bicycles, I don't think it's gonna solve the issue. When people say they're carrying books or they're carrying other stuff to move around with this group trial thing. So at least one shuttle should still be rotating.
Senator Mohammed.
I mean, I like the idea. It sounds like it's pretty cool, but I'm thinking about like students who are like handicapped or they have like an injury of some sort. Like it's still like a problem for like them to get around on a bike.
Senator Booker.
My question to them is the ones that are handicapped and having places around, how are they doing it now? They're using shuttles, because one of the discussions we had is that no one was seeing them being used. So,
Senator Rogers.
Would this be in a centralized location, or will they have like rentals at Eagles Landing? Because it'd be useless to walk from Eagles Landing to the centralized place, the HPC.
Right. The way Dr. Tivold mentioned it was they would be stationed in several places. So HPC Library, Eagles, UC, places. Any other discussion? Senator Apology.
She's doing some of the schools and get the smart cars. Yes. I mean, they do wreck a lot.
Senator Bell.
Motion to close discussion.
Second. All in favor of closing discussion over the rental bike, say aye. Aye. Also opposed. Any abstentions? Okay, discussion is now closed. Another thing, so Dr. Marzilli, for those who were here a couple weeks ago, he spoke about textbooks being free online. Kind of gauged how you guys, I mean, it seems kind of obvious what the responses were, but he did want me to bring this up again as SGA to see what your thoughts were on this. So can I entertain a motion to open up discussion over the online textbooks? Senator McDaniel?
Motion to open up discussion of online textbooks.
Second. Okay, all in favor of opening up discussion over the online textbooks, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Aye. Okay. Discussion is now open.
Do we have any updates? Is there something that's like pertinent, or are we just trying to like review our opinions?
So we never actually opened up discussion for this. You guys were just asking questions about Marzilli, so just kind of getting a response, an actual response from you guys. So I don't have any updates. Senator Hickey?
I mean, I think the obvious answer is that, yeah, we're all for it. I mean, I'm sure that there are people that would prefer to have a physical textbook, but he even mentioned in his presentation that, you know, some professors could keep that as an option if they saw it and the students wanted that. So I mean, I think it's a win-win.
Senator Hood?
Has there been any thought of how this is implemented? Is it something that works alongside the professors, or like I like the idea, but as far as getting that as an actual thing that people do, is there any indication how that would happen?
Vice President Temple?
So more than likely, Dr. Marzilli will go and talk to everyone and who he wants to be a part of this project, and it'll go small scale first, and then it'll be basically teachers who volunteer to do so, and then they'll see how that works, and then they'll expand it. That's what I got from it when he came and spoke. But he's in charge of the Department of Academic Success, so he has a lot of oversight in the areas like that. So this will basically be implemented through his office.
Senator McDaniel?
Going off of that, I guess my only part where I was confused is he say that he was only going to do this for like our core classes that we do in like our first couple of years, or is he going to implement with teachers in college of nursing and pharmacy, like once we're in our other studies, I guess?
So I'm assuming that's just going to be core classes for now. Obviously, this is it's a new system that UT Tyler is going to establish. So I would assume that what he said is just core for now. Senator Bell?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he say that the teachers had to opt into it? So it's all about talking the teachers into utilizing this resource rather than, you know, them making the choice to opt out.
Right. And you did say that, you're right. Senator Rogers?
Remind me again, is there an extra additional cost to students, or how is the university?
Senator Copeland?
There was a grant that the University of Texas School System Chancellor has put forward. So all the universities in the UT school system have been challenged to come up with something to win this grant. This is
If I remember correctly, so it was a while ago, as far as how this would work, how professors would opt in, is that there is an open resource sort of, I guess, like channel he kind of talked about. I mean, am I remembering this right? Is anyone? Okay, I'm seeing some nods. So, and like professors would opt in to use books that were on there, or like have their books put on there, but that like but this is not the first time this has ever been done, from what I understood from him. And there's sort of an open resource that is out there, and that professors can opt into using it and like getting more on it. It might be misunderstood from what he said, but I hope that clears up how this would work. I have no idea.
part of that grant money is going to go towards getting the book companies to provide the online material. So the university won't pay for it, UT school systems.
Any other discussion? Vice President Tucker?
Motion to close discussion.
All in favor of closing discussion over the online portion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, discussion is now closed. Senator Bell?
Motion to present me and Jason McDonald's Senator project.
Okay, all in favor of having Lindsay Bell and Jacob McLeod present their Senator project, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? You may present.
They both left the projector's power on, so I don't want to give them a little deal first.
Yeah. Okay. Hello, everyone. Lindsay and I have been working for the past month. We spent a lot of our time on this project, and so we hope y'all like it. Yeah, it's coming on right now. So
a while back, I gave just kind of an update that bike racks were something that the College of Pharmacy could utilize. And once I learned about senator projects, because I was still a new senator, it gave me the idea, well, if I can't be the only one that thinks our college needs it. And so I was noticing around campus, we do kind of have a lack of them. And with the rental bikes, this is also going to be pretty good to implement. So starting off, that's what our project is about. We want to get 2 bike racks put in, and it would be in between the library and the College of Pharmacy. We would have one on the upper level and one on the lower level towards Harvey Lake, excuse me.
okay, well, the purpose of this project is to encourage students to utilize other means of transportation to alleviate parking stress, because parking is a really big issue here, and there's never a lot of spots to park. So, but also it promotes a healthier and environmentally friendly lifestyle. And also the designs that we've been looking at, it provides an aesthetically pleasing as well as functional area to store one's bicycle to really go with the new pharmacy building as well as the new business building. And it also helps promote our organization and provide an example of our active involvement around campus.
So a while back, we did a survey, and these are just the results here. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Yeah. It should take us. Oh, not open.
You can always copy and paste.
There we go.
There you go. Anyway, when we did the survey results, it did come back conclusive that a lot of the students felt there was a lack of bike racks across campus. 2 of the main ones that we asked students about was pharmacy, library, and then another one was by the, that's fine, are we having technical difficulties with it? Okay, that's fine.
It's stored under his downloads, so it has to be under the computer that he has that
it's
download
on there.
on.
Okay. It is in my, do you have it? Can you email it? Either one.
Yeah.
And we can show you that in a second. But the top two was one, more bike racks by the UC, and then the other one they were literally like 3 points difference, and I'll show that to you in a minute, between pharmacy, library, and everything else. And since I am senator for the College of Pharmacy, that's what motivated the location for this as well, because my students that I represent needed this, and I was noticing around the library with finals and everything else coming up, people utilize the library so much more as well. Can you get it?
Maybe we just scroll through.
Scroll through? Okay. So these are kind of the results. This is, everybody's classification of who voted. Not everybody uses bikes around campus, but the ones that did, it prompted to these next questions. And a lot of people said that, obviously, no, they couldn't find a bike rack. They do believe that there is a lack of it, like I said before. Here are the results that kind of motivated the Senator Project, one by the UC and one by some by the pharmacy library area. We do currently have some, but they're black. They're not very aesthetically pleasing. They're hard to find because they just blend in. It took me a while to find them until I actually looked for them. So that's another thing that we wanted to fix. And then some people said they wanted them by Eagles Landing. These are just some of the other comments as well. And then we asked specifically about the library and the pharmacy building, and just about everybody. You can see here there was a lot that said yes and a few that said no, but for the majority, it was justifiable doing the Senator Project. So going back to the PowerPoint.
Okay, so our plan is to add 2 designated areas for bike racks near the pharmacy and library buildings. And as she said, upper level and lower level. And once the plan is hopefully approved by SGA, it will be taken to the Director of Facilities Management, Andrew Kraus. And funding will come from the remainder of the Senator Project budget, which is $1,800, as well as the Ben and Mady Fish College of Pharmacy.
So the dean of the Ben and Mady Fish College of Pharmacy, I actually met with him, and he was wanting to get these bike racks built. And so he appreciated our help, and what he has done as a thank you, I showed him the survey results. And he didn't want to take these funds and not be able to do one towards by the UC as well, since that's what the student population wanted as well. So in order to get both done, what he's agreed to do is this year, because we donated funds to help these bike racks get built by the pharmacy building and the library, he has agreed to donate $1,800 towards a future Senator Project, which would be phase 2, which would be next semester or in the fall. We would utilize we would utilize the opportunity to get one built by the UC.
Okay, so this is the more expensive kind, and you can see it's very modern and sleek. And the total cost would be $6,000, and we would have 4 of these on the upper level and 5 of those on the lower level.
Now, just to be clear, this is an estimated cost. Andrew Kraus, we are working with him to get a final estimate on what it would cost for those 2 locations. This is strictly an estimated total cost. And like I said, the $1,800 from the Senator Project goes towards this project, but the Ben and Mady Fish College of Pharmacy will donate the remainder of the funds to get this built. They feel that strongly about it.
Yeah. And then the lower level is $2,500, and they're still pretty good looking. And we would have 4 of those on the upper level and 5 on the lower level. And yeah. Any questions? I guess calling people.
Can we call on people, or do you have to? No, this is just over logistics, right? We have to open up discussion here in a minute.
Do you have any questions over logistics or pertaining to the presentation? Senator Balaji?
Did you say it was $6,000 for that first?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's an estimated total cost. They are having to take into account like drainage issues and everything else at this point.
Is it like the material that's like?
What we would have to do is instead of we would have to essentially create a platform off of the sidewalk that's large enough, and so a lot of the cost is coming into having to pour cement and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other discussion over, or sorry, any other questions on the presentation or logistics? Can you go back to the previous slide? Sorry. So like, are there any? So first question, where do the bikes go in this one?
I'm pretty sure like you stick your bike on the side and use the lock to attach it to it. Just loop it around, yeah.
This is really what we're going for. This is another cheaper option. These are more ideal for the fact that they don't sit up too high off of the ground. So on the lower level, we're not going to be obstructing the view of the lake or anything along those lines. And it kind of keeps to the whole state park feel of the university.
So that $6,000 is for all 9 of each of those individual ones?
Yes.
Plus the 2 platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other logistic questions? Okay. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, we need
A few more moments of your time.
Okay. Oh, no,
I'm so sorry. I forgot about that.
Okay, so this is our actual proposal. Is it? Can everybody see okay? Okay, I think that's good. Okay, so this is our bike rack proposal by us. And Radha was our advisor. She put up with us for a whole month. It was fun. And so, the proposal it consists of the following factors: that SGA will commit a certain amount of money from this year's Senator Project budget to assist in partially funding the investment of new bicycle racks at the University of Texas at Tyler. In the case that the student government will not be able to fund the entire project, the remaining portion will be covered by the College of Pharmacy. If approved, as a thank you, the Dean of Pharmacy has agreed to donate $1,800 to the second phase of this project taking place in fall 2017. The benefits. This project will benefit the students of the university in the following ways: allow students who use a bicycle to commute around campus to find an accessible and secure area to park their bike, provide an aesthetically pleasing as well as functional area to store one's bicycle, address the proven student need of bike racks around campus, encourage more biking around campus, thus alleviating parking issues, and mutually benefiting the Student Government Association by creating a long-lasting impression on this campus. And logistics, this project will utilize the remaining $1,800 in the Senator Project budget account. And that's all we have.
There we go.
Any questions about this document? Concerns?
When reading through, did y'all see any typos or anything along those lines?
I hope not.
I think you're good.
I would change the logistics. I would change the Center Project budget account to budget line.
Okay.
It's not the same.
I'll do that later.
We'll make note of it.
Okay, anything else?
Now, we are asking you guys, since we have presented today and we are getting towards the end of the semester, at the end of the discussion, we will ask that we vote on this. So go ahead and start thinking about whether you want to approve or not. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, motion to open up discussion regarding the Senator Project.
All in favor of opening up discussion on the Senator Project, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, discussion is now open. Senator Rogers?
It's official that we only have 1,800 left.
Senator McDaniel?
Does budget restart next semester?
It'll start, it will start, our fiscal year ends, I believe, August 31st. And so it'll start September 1st. Vice President Templeman?
So just so you guys are 100% clear on the way that works, when we hit August 31, all of the money that's allocated to us for this year just goes into a reserve account that student service fee handles. So like, for instance, with the pool party, since that happened on September 1st, I had to take all of the money that we use for that out of this year's budget instead of being able to use summer budget like we had in the past. So anything, it's not like we're gonna have any rollover. None of the money that we have in the account for this year rolls over into next year.
So the inspection on the fiscal, like a regular government fiscal spending budget. So the money that's not used is essentially the following fiscal year looked at as, oh, you didn't need that, so we're not gonna give that back to you. So we basically, just like in the military, we need to start buying $300 toilet seats. Spending taxpayer dollars, like.
Is that everything? How much does the center project line start with? Is that right, Daniel?
So in conclusion, this will benefit us in a sense?
Correct.
Okay.
Apologize. I did have a question about that. Y'all talked about it increasing SGA visibility on campus and showing our active role. I think that's really awesome. Is there like any sort of plan to like have our logo or something on the bike racks? It wasn't in the presentation, but I assume that's what y'all mean by that statement.
Absolutely. We're planning on putting like a plaque that says funded by Student Government Association and College of Pharmacy, something along those lines.
I think that is something you should put in the proposal, just for everyone to have that said.
So my only reservation is that we're talking 2 years of the entire center project budget going only to that. Because the bike racks are $6,000. Is that not what we're talking about?
So when you mean 2 years of the entire, so our fiscal year for this year we started with that $5,000. We've used up in this academic year, in the spring we've used up 3,200 of that so far. And so we have until August 31st to use up the rest of that, or else we'll go back into the reserve like President Temple. Did that answer your question, Karen?
Yeah. Vice President Temple?
What I think you're missing there is that the College of Pharmacy is covering the rest of the 6,000. So the donation from us for the 1,800 will pay for 1,800 of it, and then the pharmacy covers the rest of the 6,000. So we're not going to be using more than that 1,800 ever.
Now my thing is he, with your proposal, do you think he's going to cover this rest of the 6,000 and then give us 1,800 if he approves? And then with that also the plaque, is that added on in the 6,000 for the cost?
So again, the 6,000 is a rough estimate since we are sending it to Andrew Krause to make sure that drainage issues are not going to be a problem. That he will give us an exact itemized receipt at that point. There is already a agreement with the College of Pharmacy that it's going to. He wants to make sure that it does get built, so he will cover whatever the remaining costs, even if it's more than 6,000. And yes, he will donate $1,800. Not necessarily. Yes, it would be if it's approved. The plan is to redo another senator project in the fall after the fiscal year again to implement a bike rack at the UC. And at that point, if it does get approved, he will donate $1,800 towards that one.
Vice President. Let me see. I'm going to try to make sure I word this correctly. Motion to vote on this proposal under the stipulation that we add a section that covers the plaque.
Second.
All in favor of
Vote on the exact proposal? The exact proposal have the amount, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me amend that. Motion to close discussion and vote on this proposal under the stipulation that it includes a section regarding the plaque.
Second. All right, all in favor of closing discussion and voting on the proposal, as long as the stipulation adds the section with the plaques for SGA. Say aye. Aye. All those who oppose? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay. So discussion is closed. It's been approved. Okay. So the proposal is now approved. Are we moving forward with this?
I
Why would you like, oh, we said it.
I said team to vote.
So now you didn't say vote.
So now we have a motion to approve.
I already motioned
You
the
already
voting.
voted.
Now it's-
Also approved. No. Okay, all those in favor of approving the center project for bike rack, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions? Okay. The center project has been approved, finally. All right, congratulations now. Any other new business? Yes, Senator Rogers.
Motion to discuss Tyler Dance's presented earlier.
Second. Okay, all in favor of opening discussion with Tyler Dance Marathon, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Okay, can I get a raise of hands? All those who approve? Okay, all those who oppose? Any abstentions?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah.
All right, so discussion is open. I'm sorry, Treasurer Navarre.
What were, I was a little confused. So are they asking for us to fund the $500 for the HPC gym for their event, or were they just asking us to endorse their own event overall?
Okay, so how this works is that they are not a student organization. So if they want to book something with the HPC is charging them $500 to rent the gym. When we had our pool party, Joshua, correct me if I'm wrong, when we had our pool party on September 1st, they did not charge us, correct? Well, we didn't even have, they charged us in the past.
Yes, they didn't charge up because it wasn't used because y'all.
Right. So what is the stipulation with a student government association, you know?
I think his point was that with y'all endorsement or sponsorship, that the HPC would waive.
Do you know that's for sure though?
I think that's what his intentions were. I don't know if that is what will happen.
Okay.
And I think that's his intent or what he goes for because he doesn't understand why they're being charged that much.
Okay, so he's assuming that if student government association, if we put our name on the papers, that we won't have to pay a fee for the HPC, to run the HPC. So his hope is for us to support or endorse, and then I guess once we get his, whatever the agreement is between the HPC, then we put our name on it. Vice President Gentleman?
I have two things real quick. First off, I understand where his logic's coming from, but if they were going to charge us for the pool party, I don't think they'll waive an event that we're just sponsoring. Secondly, it's a fundraiser, which means that we can't put our money towards it because it be solicitation, and we're run off the student service fee. So we can't fund any of this because they're going to be raising money. So honestly, like as far as the scope of what I see that we would be able to do is to just volunteer our time, and that would mean that I would have to say, hey guys, we would recommend that the senators go to it, and then y'all guys are funding or donating on y'all's own out of y'all's pockets.
Let me just restate. We are not funding any of this. The whole purpose of this is just to sponsor in the sense of where we just put our name on the papers to say that they can have the HPC without covering a $500 charge. Senator Parrish?
If that were the case, why couldn't SAE do it?
What do you mean?
Why couldn't they sponsor it if it was like an organization name?
I'm sure they could.
Because they can use it. Aren't they going to them? That's like life.
I think it goes back to what I mentioned earlier. He's hoping that the student government influence that the team would be from.
Senator Bell?
So just for clarification, we would not have to be present because he mentioned us having a table, but that's not mandatory. We can just sponsor and have our name on it, but we do not have to be physically present because that is just Saturday. It's a little late notice.
Correct. Senator Reagan?
So do they not charge the fee, the rental fee at the time of when they reserve it?
So you would get the invoice afterwards. You would charge afterwards, but I don't know. Hogan has not spoken to HPC to confirm whether or not SGA can. If we would still have to pay $100, do they waive it to us? So then again,
Do you want me to have him come back so we can answer questions?
is that possible? Oh no, speaker's podium is gone. Okay. Vice President Templeton.
I just know Coach Kepler, who's in charge of the HBC, one of his big strong points is that he does everything that he can to make sure that the gym stays open, to just open gym time, because throughout the year you're using it for athletic practices almost exclusively during when you have that time frame from where volleyball and basketball are at the same time. You have volleyball practice, 2 basketball team practices, and cheer practice. So during the spring, he tries to keep that as open as possible. I really don't see him waiving any of the fee just because we slapped our name on it within 2 days' notice. I wish that wasn't the case, because I'd love for them to not have to give $500 to the HBC to just hold a charity event, but that's just my opinion.
So what would our co-sponsorship mean then? Is it like for us, like what would we have to do? We wouldn't have to provide funding or anything? No. It would just be
a way for us to, I guess, get our name out there. Do you have a question?
That's basically what I was going to ask. What is this?
But again, with co-sponsoring, like Vice President Templeman said, we do get our money from student fees, and so we can't do fundraising with that. So I think putting our name out there seems a little, it's kind of like a gray area.
I mean, I think him asking us, admirable and understands cause is trying to use the resources that he has available to him at school, but I think that's a really good point. SAE may possibly be a much better sponsor for them, so he may want to utilize that resource as well.
Other discussion?
Motion to close discussion and then vote on whether we sponsor it or not.
I don't think we have to vote, we just have to endorse it.
Okay.
She's asking to vote for the endorsement.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I think that's too big considering the discussion.
Yeah,
I think
Motion to close discussion then.
Second. Okay. All in favor of closing discussion over the dance marathon, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Discussion is now closed. Do we have any other new business? Okay. Advisory comments?
The majority of y'all, I think, ran again. And so it's very vital that you respond back in a timely manner, so that we can move through this process pretty quickly. It should go pretty smoothly. I just finished everything, so I'm hoping that we can finalize everything tomorrow. And then next week, we can focus on getting people present to swear in. So, other than that, no.
Sounds good. Any announcements?
So again, Libby and I and our executive board are planning Patriots Uplift, and it is this Saturday. If you have not registered, we would appreciate you guys. And Chris, we would appreciate if you guys could come out and support us. It's volunteering first half, then we'll have a rally in the evening with food, free food, pizza, not pizza, like what is this? Food truck food, carnival food, and games and stuff going on. If you haven't signed up, sign up. And the links on Blackboard.
Secretary Martin.
Yanli Cantu, she had something to say. Yanli, can you hear me?
Yeah. So today we had so during our town hall meeting, it was requested that we would have more guest speakers. So me and another classmate were able to get 2 guest speakers from 2 companies and alumni to talk today, and it went really well. It kind of went too well because we didn't have enough room. And then we have our annual, second, Do Not Stress, and that's where it's kind of like our midnight breakfast, and we have donuts. It's called Do Not Stress, and it's like a donut thing. So we got some stuff going on.
That's great. We're glad to hear. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Yanli.
Senator Anikin.
Okay, so back to the dance marathon. A lot of my friends are on the committee for that, and it's kind of hard for them because they're not a student organization. It's kind of hard for them to get the word out. So I was just gonna announce that it is this Saturday after Patriots Village. I think it starts like maybe 6 or 7. I don't know. It's in the evening. It's like $15, but like he said, like 100% of the proceeds are going to that Children's Miracle Network. And you also get like a T-shirt, and like 2 meals, and like Outback is catering, and it's gonna be really, really awesome. I've heard really good things about it. So if you guys want to hear more about it, I can get you in contact with somebody on the committee that can get you registered or anything like that.
Senator Brady?
The model unit's going to do one last event. It's going to be the weekend of finals, so it'd be nice if you guys come. It's the Texas Peace Summit. We're partnering with the Texas Tyler Art Peace. So if you guys can help us out with posters, we're on posters in the lobby. It's going to be like a TED Talk. Dr. Sturgeon and Dr. David Scott is going to be there. We'll be talking, and also the Muslim spokesperson for Interfaith Coalition is going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys would like to volunteer, let me know. I'd like at least 5, because my guys, I guess, have other things to do. And I'll pay you back in pizza and my eternal love.
Senator Dave?
I don't know if I missed it, and this isn't really enough, but banquet, I don't.
I discussed that during my section. We had to change it to Friday at 11:30, so it'd be the 28th.
Okay.
That was just due to costs that were unexpected from the inside.
And this will be in the bar.
In the bar.
Yeah. Dress code?
Dress code is going to be business, pretty much business formal. So just dress like you would for the GA, if not a little bit nicer if you can.
Senator Dahl? Just a question regarding that. If we have class until 12, is it going to mess anything up if we come late? Is there like an itinerary or anything?
We will have an agenda, yes, but
It's okay.
No.
No.
We would more than likely just be finished eating if by that time. So I'm sure there will be food for you, but you may be eating while everyone else is finishing up. And then,
Vice President.
so now I'm just going to go ahead and cover the setup stuff for Glow Rage. It's in the THE. I'm going to text Heather, who's the president of CAB, and just see what she wants us to do. And we'll walk over there, knock that out real quick, and then y'all are free to go.
Any other announcements? Senator Rogers?
Motion to adjourn.
all in favor of adjourning, say aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Secretary Marty, dispense second roll call, please.
President Serene Boston. Vice President Tippleman.
Here.
Treasurer Nabar. Parliamentary Sealy. Here. Senator Balaji. Senator Bell.
Here.
Senator Cantu.
Here.
Senator Castellanos.
Here.
Senator Catherwood.
Here.
Senator Copeland. Senator Dyson.
Here.
Senator Grimm. Senator Hart.
Here.
Senator Higgins.
Here.
Senator Jacobs.
Here.
Senator Hood.
Here.
Senator Jawad. Senator Jobe. Senator Johnson. Senator McDaniel.
Here.
Senator McLeod.
Yeah.
Senator Mohammed. Senator Morris.
Here.
Senator Morrison. Senator Ramirez. Senator Frady.
Here.
Senator Nagarajan. Senator Novak. Senator Parrish.
Here.
Senator Rogers.
Here.
Senator Ross. Senator Severin. Senator Shaka.
Here.
Senator Strothag, Senator Sweetland,
Here.
Senator Thomas.
Meeting adjourned.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, that was